Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to my first audio blog. I started blogging only 3-4 days ago, and I feel so good about it. And I thought maybe I share with you some stuff with audio on top, and then later on you'll have the chance to see my face. Lucky you. So, anyways, let's talk about the subject today. It's hotspots and value spots. And the definition is that hotspot is what seems as the person in charge of buying. All of us as sales reps were introduced to new customers by our old colleagues who are handling the same customer, and they tell you, we know this guy, and off you go, basically trying to repeat what the person before you did. But the fact of the matter is that there is what is called the value spot, which is a place in the organization where people can appreciate your solution because it solves a problem. Remember, we're not sales reps. We are people who help the customer achieve a goal, solve a problem, or capture a lost opportunity. So our subject today is basically I need to go back, and it's not going back, so okay, surgical instruments, creepy things that you see in the operation room. I've seen it only once, and I'm still shivering ever since. These are the instruments, the odd-looking things that doctors do to perform operations. And as you see, there are so many hundreds of these, very expensive stuff. They are acquired by the hospitals. The vendors come and deliver the surgical instruments to the warehouse, and then after that, the logistics within the organization, the hospital, takes place. And these instruments are dispatched into the surgical facilities. They have to be sterilized here in this, I think it's autoclave or something. So anyways, whenever there is an operation, people will get the instruments required for the operation, because there is an OR theater, and an OR theater is basically the place where all the fun happens. So there are so many operating rooms. So if we go to this slide, you will see that the suppliers will provide the instruments. Okay, the purchasing are the ones who basically issue the request and then acquire the thing, and then it goes to logistics. Okay, and logistics is where all these things are stocked. Later on, the operation theater will say that today we have 6 operations starting 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., something like this. So the operation theater people will basically collect the required instruments, sterilize them, and then after that it goes to the nurses and the surgeons, and basically the operation takes place. So as you see, if you are a supplier who takes things as face value, and purchasing will give you a list of requirements, and you provide the list, and basically you try to say that ours is the best because of this, that, and the other, squeeze your prices, do this and do that. This is one day of doing things, but definitely it's not the best. What this elite salesperson did, as a matter of fact, he sat with his customers, and he asked about the business process, and he knew now the cycle goes like this. Suppliers provide the material to purchasing, purchasing gives it to logistics, and then it goes as the picture says. And then what he did is he said, okay, purchasing, what do they ask? What is their job? Their job is cost control. And nowadays, as a matter of fact, purchasing are called vendor management, and they manage the vendors in the way that they squeeze them every time. And to my surprise, actually, I knew that Pakistan is a leading competitor that competes with Japanese and German, and they have their ways of producing surgical instruments that people like, and they come at low cost. So anyways, the value at the purchasing box is cost control. Logistics is lean efficiency, and naturally, because what they want is to have all the operations done without any delay, and hence they make sure that if they have 1,000 operation of this thing, all the instruments will be ready. And they do all these things. They calculate, and they make sure that whatever instrument is required will be provided. You go to the operation theater managers, and then time management becomes an issue here, because the more operations they do per day or per week or per month, the more money they make. So time management is an issue here. Any saving in time is translated directly to money. And then you go to the theater nurses, safety and reliability of the instruments itself becomes the main concern. And then last but not least is the surgeons, and the surgeons are concerned about the patient outcome, basically. So our friend said, okay, guys, how much time does it take, for instance, for tonsils removal or for whatever? And he started counting the time required from all departments. And then he came up with he or she, as a matter of fact, we don't know, they came up with the idea, what if I can provide you with a procedure pack, in the sense that whatever is required for this operation, tonsils removal, for, I don't know, I'm not very well versed in this terminology, but he said, okay, this operation requires 5 of these, for instance, requires these instruments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about if I provide you with a sterilized package that has all this equipment that are required for X operation? The guy said, okay, let's see what happens. So he did. He went back to his company. He said, guys, we're not going to sell individual instruments. We're going to sell procedure packs. And the idea of the procedure pack was born. And basically, you will say, today I have 10 operations. One of them is brain transplant, and I think many people need brain transplant. And one of them is this, and one of them is that. So basically, instead of going into a long procedure of sterilizing and sorting and do this, they just collect what is called procedure pack. And this is the idea that put our elite salesperson ahead of his competitors for a year or so, because by the time the RFP was issued, it was clear we would like to have ortho surgical pack, or a neuro, or general, and all these boxes you see here, they have the names of different procedures and different operations. So all of a sudden the RFP came, and he was the only one who can provide this. And then later on the other companies learned, and naturally this is what happens. The people will copy your business process, and basically it becomes sort of a commodity kind of thing. So the idea of today's clip is basically look for the value spot, look for places inside your customer where you can add value. What the value that was added, they managed to cut down 20 minutes per operation. And since this was a large hospital, it was in the United States, and these guys had 15 operating rooms. So imagine 15 multiplied by 20, this is 300 multiplied by the number of operations that they do. It was easily translated into hundreds of thousands of dollars, and our friend became the preferred supplier for quite some time until the others caught up, and that's why it's an ongoing process. You should always look for value spots within your customer's operation, and you do that only if you inquire and read and research, and then you can add value. Thank you very much. I hope you like this. If you like it, please give me a shout, press the like button, or do whatever, and then I will continue doing more audio clips. Thank you very much.